Okay.
And Otempa being a deputy.
Okay.
And see Yameto and Safran and I say a deputy, you know.
Also a substantive.
Substantive. The substantive the Senka was said ye pay deputy yeding at a sonasing. It is during the constituency election said banning you call for treasure. But I say endorsement now the way I now penalty.
Or call election.
Yeah. For treasure constituency wise.
Oh, okay.
And
Mututiano.
Oh, okay. And the ban san never say also ne bonny boss in nature. Yeah, the deputy man. T ya barber will be a lobby apply the other. T or movie nay or 3 selection more call regionals. There 3. That's a main friend is saying secretary, which is Otin Pabino, and no said Banini as a deputy, no, and one Fauzia at a branch level or Kazon. A jebo, and dinner by Zelna, or man penny
said Banini,
sent Banini.
Honest MC
for Kaswa. And see, yeah, monitoring na ebonya empire say nyameba na hondin na ode ason kaswa man na kaswa isi ade ba kwa me pessimity fi wo mentimi hu say eye sabotage wo say eye den the electricity wise in kaswa no
dumso eno me hu say na mo
to be frankly speaking
mo deputy regional organizer no kasa
it's too bad. It's too bad. You see, and our call office or no be some say a damn potting issue. They are unable to tell you say, oh, problem with NFC and a problem with NFC. And run up. As if say a year some kind of assist so I try 1 minute. And all of a sudden I have to off my appliances. Because with me I said no. And I was asking myself, say, damn problem pan or oh okay, munti me and kama kaswa sebi kaswa so ahia. You see, oh honey doom light. No explanation. O office no be someone say a damn pot no they are not saying. And I want to, you see, in as much as say yeah governor. So we are why you say sebi oh we be a buy na abano. And it be our person good anymore. I said, back I won't say, so we do light to anyhow. And select NDC for now, select NPP for. Oh, yeah, maybe from where I sit and what I'm looking at, I say, yeah, pure sabotage.
But you have a minister, you have your friends, ECG, in Penny 4, Amuna Mopao. And if this thing is going on, that's a sabotage. See, what is the minister doing there?
See, so that is why it got to that point that Commander 1 came to address that issue, that press conference. I was so excited because I mean, what is it? Say issue. Let us know. Say there is this particular issues. Now we will be on about how best we can resolve it. But a situation whereby but me doom light within 30 minutes, but me do more than 15-20 times for no reason. I mean, all same of appliances, and they do a home a bar in the form of a low current. Me so family out of 5 no better said that one. You see, so they have to sit up. It's a problem. Be a man. They should let us know. Say, oh, cause a problem I facing. What they say? Anna, your friend is saying, MC Awaba, me my crado, then it'll be Juma. We making sure say Kaswa become one of the peaceful and the neatest country town so far. But so far so good, you know. Meet me, I can say ball and send na ekano is omoye ho adwuma. But I want him to put measures. At least it should be rapid. Enko ye a 9-day wonder because sisi a yare abano. Rapid, you see, me yare your own. Once the last old frame and poke, I should not make us my own family. What my dad and me? Typhoid. Me quotation almost say negative. It's typhoid issue. Nti mia metna ase na me share sentence no. I'm so no. This is a symptoms of typhoid. I say what a dormant stage. And a mia me do musu kwa na me kope ho herbal edru. Me nu me droni in less than some few minutes me hu se me started sweating. What I say? So what about obi asebin period so ono so eto na be won't mean do musu kwa enye mu hwehwe mu hu sai we. Ne nyina so gina fi ne nneama eye den etwa ehu hia. And this typhoid ne sa kore yi nya de ede ba nti MC ye man ne tiri nkwa ye man akwa ba ye ne be ye djuma oye nimpa
but mammi sa u ba no ekwan no so sa atale ni mu horo still me hu se omo shase se omo ye sa big drain no edru atale ni mu ana se anwia na sa twia be gu kwan
o da be anwia na ma
we di anwia na ma
I think say some particular project no omo ye adwuma na very very rapid.
Oh, okay.
Atale ni mu honum no. To say
and omo ya madrin na dru ho.
Yeah, omo ya madrin na dru ho. Atale ni mu honum na omo ya cover.
Oh, okay.
Omo ye drain na cover so.
Omo cover so. Omo atale ni mu honum.
Yeah, omo cover so. Unlike first na nka nsuo to a nanka atwe anwia
na abegu kwan no so
abegu kwan no so esi ana entisa me ba no entisa.
Oh, okay.
But we no ma kata so but there are some few friends saying touches be or moye. I think say it will help because honum the insulta as a friend is saying apple. But I think say ebeboa.
Okay. Okay. Open inside go there. Morning.
Morning, good morning.
Na ahonde wo hode.
Yesu adom yenya da sorry anopa die. Na che se yo won kwan ne sanso wo ahonde die just da be manyame. Except to say that already ko forma Ghana for nuhu no abapa.
Hey.
Oh, of course.
Less than 4 months.
Of course, nuhu na ba. And I know that digestive issues now be hu niam ni bi nuhu na ba. Yes. Niema NDC for catching okurum ha no mo de be take here abamia no nye no na ye hu no
Samu.
Oh, of course. Kind of famous book by Edmund Graham book we was The Liar's Paradise.
Yes,
there's a particular quote in it or say talking London walking Tokyo. NDC for a brand day London chire Ghana for we e china fi no mo nante said yo mo nam Tokyo no Engineer Sakrana, she say you see.
Oh, okay.
The bullying and everything. So in some of those be
bullying crowd.
Say NDC rulership here they say bullying. So bullying.
Sir.
I say wa school na onye senior bi na. What I say nya no so coach. Bullying.
But I mean Mr. Way answer your conversation I say enra and am lunch the thank you tour our party headquarters. Or about me, I say so far, when Lucy the election because he was a Muslim, and he's basing that typically on the Okwe's report. Okwe's report, no, General Secretary Amayati as he said, report in the on pension and a war. Where does the Vice President has those figures to tell us he did not lose the election because he was a Muslim, and he's basing that fact on Okwe's report.
But anyway, they were only pass me kuni General Secretary Akachire say until say you be a report ni be a kind.
That me can report mo asemu me can the advice can
see asem. Enti report no ni mahu say yakọ submit.
Okay.
Me say they submit krata in a video. But the woman
physical character hu.
The one woman me hu.
Okay.
But me hu the occasion of the submission of the report.
And Okra is on
led by Professor Iroma Kokui.
Yes.
Excuse my Belgium. Now, say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Asubia Kase the elections are quiet. It was not by any 1, 2, 3 factor.
Yeah.
Ubia wa home crimes or in forensics. So we be a friend of self-introspection. You say Ubia ni honoma unim sene isi sheshe. Change the
Odanijan.
Odanijan. Swati I say. When I real maku, no name send them a kunisity, say green pepper, say a red pepper, no, Nesha she and never check.
Yes.
And tis or no case, or no do GDM passe, and yes, said you a cremony, ain't no lose elections now. I believe and I share in what he's saying because my reasons be made me account to buttress the point say
yes,
and yes, I will lose election because of a cremony.
Okay.
But one common so and one coach say a beer. Asama America, you know, Sebio, Ubi soon new home quines or no such a benefa home. A your noan or dinner home, and on noa HSA or no dear or Nisa society. I think the reason why I can't ask them no, the fact that say a 12 you know, people be akasa.
Yes.
Now say oko competition be an answer or tishia. I say, send a boo baby, say a boss on tishia. NPP so as a so imagine. You say a boy be a boy be a machine, crying a boy crying. As well at my sorry boy be. So what I say. So Obia or home quine say, what that from the dear, you bet to choose any abasa. Until it is allowed. Into what this answer may be a Ebimonka say, oh, we're cremony. Because yet, some Christian leaders Army Modi were making unjustifiable claims and unbiblical claims say or said the cremoni those people felt to say they didn't want him to be a leader. Say it in
yes.
But as a nation we are united as a people. And family baby religion what ye na isu nyame ye na isu free nyame na otete science nibino na he felt say it's an opportunity for him to dispel sadeno because of the onusu who or form intia. That has nothing to do with the content of the Makukwe report.
Okay, but
the Makukwe report the committee na atanase when is a committee create atanase na some your findings are it may not be sacrosanct.
Yes,
the party can decide they say or be adapt it and now adapt it.
Yes,
what you say.
Yes.
That is why in the wisdom of the party a general secretary what can say they have also subletted the report into another committee. So if there would be necessary amendments
yes.
going forward in our July extraordinary conference, then we can look into that.
Okay.
So that alone tells you that. But as a party, so what would him say? Senate TBA and say this Oku school kurano na say ucha 8/10 and 9/10. Teacher ni papa biya beka say your corrections.
Yes.
So the corrections are the report. NDC for you be pay. Omo di say so omo ye under PV of Minu Abema at your bekai under the revered PV of being emo edi omo ye.
Report
and they may be leaky, but no more say nyano correct report in the account be anam say nyano correct. But almost so none where they yet the omuka huaseni. The interesting thing among who say NDC for no a buslimu can omudi to report because ubian who ye say make mama a snapshot of NDC top works. Obia sama can be I was it is in page 66.
No, yeah, page 66.
They say Obia it is in page 66. And Mr. Chilewa, it will shock you. Obia in page 66. So I don't know what in that page.
And page 66 I don't know.
I'm just our page 66 in a presidential pink sheet now. Me a born to you. What I say. And so I for all jokes aside, the committee report was a very serious at the party commission and he said the general secretary can mean him say you better say but
unim na me bisa say we share the statement by the general secretary cautioning party members to desist from talking about issues relating to the elections, how peeved people are and all those ones, wanting not to go into the analysis to make a determination as to waiting here winning is our situation, waiting here and winning is our situation. And for the vice president to make the comment that he made, is it also opening the Pandora box for other people to also speak? Because if the vice president Connie and sanction it there now, and then Mr. Miaka, likewise, we also bet me about okay, you share Dom Kwabenya, okay, anyway, but these were not the factors in Tia, Winnie and I say, Lucy, because the vice has done it.
That's in the bidder. Was a vice president, Kasaya or Kaya, or Ka Penny Kasa, or Kasa, a CC rather. What I say? Was a enchiless will be say or Hinana Bukruno, will be say or Hinana Bukruno by what I say, these are statements, but almost about rather is positive and the other is negative. Who say, oh yeah, and Uncle Car say, yes, one more can say, me community and blue so abani di pass must yes mercy. A mumian fast bonko bas uncle for must yes mercy. One will say he is muddying the waters.
Okay.
But we know he is coming from a point where you're not a call elections. And also thank you. What I say? And I said you a phone cry used to Christ to sound my area. Un say do na no or my mamma does it. Now so you buy no. You should be saying no one Canada. So what I say? Intino said you say okoye kro we din twukura na say bi nipa bia hia seda Yesu Kristo kura pa seda te so ba nipa na se beda ase nti oba beda ase a eno na enyame so ade no na also odisa akonya no so ka bibi to Ghana fotiri mu say aso my adwenye say e bia ufiri osun bi nti a yenye ntum what I say all do na bi makeka sansem no 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 de ogidie say enya de etesa ene ma ne ba nti ono no he is not somehow standing somewhere to ebia muddy the waters and as I say or general secretary as some kind no enuntia yes no ye rather the oye no kra no eya de a ebe share general secretary asem nema say it is about time we should stop apportioning blames once say ye be fia ye be sufri se nipa no afri mu a ayida 1 week ye be su ayi dan so odampam ye besu ye de be kwa sore dem bobo mpaya ye ofusu ye besu nemom ye kwa amusie ye wie na se ye ba fia ubon ses etoda ena na agya no kora na edusu efiri ebi amusie aba no na ye bonachi se eye mfa nkofie ye chiri sa so ati ase enti no party ni person kire se obi adi kan tutu bia so what I say enti nia aduru no adwobre
anya kwan so amofa so ka nkrofo kasaboa so ache omo
there be say kasaboa ne de on say kasaboa no ye wo sine sika kasaboa hye and ye wo sene kasa bi akoka na akwa de say ase feda no auditority matters
okay
what I say and even cry recently among for kasa me sure say ye maame Sarah asemintina we ma de kasa kasabo on say assembly one ma ubi
there are so many people that munya yan
discipline committee you can say do discipline committee it is even an opportunity for you to even become a hero hearing what I say it is not a justification say why a money binti maybe
because about papun so much
maybe they want to understand more from their wokai what I say come and throw more light Bikra Sarah Joseph ane abo papomo bia ensem omaka wo no it will further inform the parties okay this is how grave the matters are this is how deep seated the matters are but once say enisuo no nti adwen be say bia o hunt bia na say enye sa ye party ni de enye maabo ebi mo party mu yehu yi obeda samoa na efanse sesi amu yehu si do ho makoni apia de ma adwagu o machi aso no mo koso carpet ye party bi nsa nsi ye nti e adwobre ka je hen me da adwobre why
ma memra same so na afi me de wo ensha se
me ba na metie no me tie no
ma me fa won sha se and free the issues relating to the suspension of the CJ. There are people a omwakase politicization of the judiciary. Some even describe it say a travesty of justice. People say they condemn it and it's a constitutional breach. Any other day. From where you sit as a member of the NDC.
Yeah.
Did the president do right by suspending the chief justice?
Bafi ma memfa akonya we so na minchia atiefo. Na minchia me constituency. Awotu senya is constituency. Minchia me degita chairman bakope. Chairman of Uswajare. And a comrades nyina mo kaswa ne omo nyina omo listeners omo agepenia no pay omo tie ne omo hwen vai social media handle. You see, about the issue of the Chief Justice now, question back open air maybe say, or you're the first Chief Justice or my appointing in Ghana now.
Derby.
Over the past years, you chief justices are ya appoint him. O the emfa ya mami to the wood and find your fatu.
Yes.
When I appointing no.
Appointing and our man penny that Kufuor.
At what time and or retire?
He retired somewhere after 20.
Under John Dramani Mahama, Meboa.
Oh no, I think he retired even under your friends Oman Penny Kufu Nanado Danko Kufuado.
I think so.
Yes.
You see, say oh Bobra ne wana muntu e koso ne the way amane ne amane si ete wo juma ye de ahye wonsa na e wo mu se timamofo no benye nse ne bi 1 or 2 aka. But majority no we je wonu ma yi a timamofo no be ba abaso. E den na araba osun nisun ene newe. The suspension of the Chief Justice Tokonu. Na sem by at what time they started seeing yin fi akunwa no so. Enye under Nana Akufo-Addo. With the same misconduct ne nyoma nkekan ewo friends in petition omode akọ omanpanyin asoye no. Na anye bia ekodu omanpanyin asoye John Dramani Mahama na asoye no. One, ekodu hwa no say maame wen kwatena fie. Omode petition ne koye no. Pe ne emra ne say ye the petition ne browse yen yi your friends in Chief Justice. Every ne kwenwa so a ABC and the emra say me den mintu hwana mo. First of all, in consultation with the Council of State. Omanpeni John Dramani Mahama oye ana wanye. Or the issue no kwa dying, a friend is saying the Council of State no. The first thing they have to establish is say case no mo de abro mo no. Is there any prima facie case? A prima facie case ana. Ye case prima facie case as Chinese. Say in some na ye de abro mo no. Aba wom. Si yendomo suko. Say petition no mo de buy no. If there is no any prima facie case on that, o ma kweke cho mampanyi say petition no mo de buy ye hwem na aba bi enim. Ento pa che me say the Council of State Asebi John Dramani Mahama e ka say mo hwehwe sa asen we no omo nyina omo ye NDC for. Enti say enye bone kro omo ka say bone. Me sure say me niam hu amakan. A response Chief Justice Nanga said aba in respect to
purported. It is not confirmed. It is purported to be a response.
Yeah, you so purported.
Yes.
In one instance, I say a man who can say ni vacation. Obetimi de ne spouse to kwan. Onankasa na response o. But what check onankasa omo conduct. Near was say at the end of the day so o tu kwan ya. When there was all the two kwan, when there was all the two kwan. Ni security personnel. Because enono ye born home by because you are a national asset. Into security personnel no ye tua ne ka. Baby obeda ni obedi ni obenom ye tua ne ka ni pedi ye tua ne ka. It is a who ye Chief Justice. Nessa also oh me bodyguard and me security personnel me mfa ne nko. Na mo mesesa me busuafo e de o makọ na pedi ye na nka wo se me de ma security no me tua mo ka. Na no ubu mra no so anaso umu mra no so. Is that the conduct I was say who practice it as a Chief Justice ana? The second instance purported what kind no our respond here was a case of Afenyo marking Parliament and then Attorney General. Also, case in the buy no mudi no. She wasn't the only judge on the case. It is a quite do a banos or more de boy. She should not be singled out. Mom for quite do no mono. Because they were judges. When they down, who is the Chief Justice? And internet say enkwala ewe nanka. Na wo panyi wo te ho na wanka bia ye bri nanka wo fa wo ka ho na wanka ho bie. Enti ene se mubua asem ne the way was mubu na. Ne e ka misconduct. Okay, yanka say judges. May and single out. When a dog man, who chooses judges to sit on cases? Administrative work. Judiciary, when a down. So in your own case, if there are misconduct, in the yebi in the case of your friend the same lawyer Siri, time now you do issue the court recently, I think last year or so. Our addressing case, you know, Chief Justice Tinejum. I say, my friend, you are talking too much. Hurry up and stop. Or you in a submission way, or see you just delay our time. How can you make such statement as a Chief Justice sitting on a case?
Yeah, so if case not there bad, pen submission, the Chief Justice feels it is a waste of time. The Chief Justice is not within right.
No, you see, say udiasem. Now would demeanor, way of approach. When I was down, let's say the way was so handle issues. Now, if you say you can bully a lawyer in front of the public simply because you are the head, is that how a judiciary system no? And was it a Chief Justice a handle and simply because you're too swabba. So if you have been appointed until a retirement year, no, you can do whatever you want at the judiciary. Enti araba tokonu. Ni man pemrika wotu na wosu. Then you see all your friends is saying NPP 4 communicators and what have you? So and there's no prima facie case. And your friend is saying Council of State no and some no more kind no omo enini. My brother, ye mu man sao. Ye de tu mi sha wonsa. Eno nche se butu mi ebumra no so. Under ono. What the asemo kokota? What will determine the outcome of it? Info analytics by under ono ne tenor. Let the trust in the judiciary system abalo. So even under a friend is saying you are pointing in Pokrano. There were countless of petitions. The latest one, the last one was nearby. Your friend is saying December 1 sana. There were many of them there, but they trash it. Enti nyabotre yese kwa tena fie kakra. Ni enya kwa ne hwem wo so wapam no. Omampanyi jomama wo so wapam na na.
But under the Fourth Republic, this is the first time such a thing is happening under the Fourth Republic.
Yes.
And people feel that when you look at Article 14610, there is a discretionary power to the president, either to sustain him while the investigations go on, and answer. Yeah. If you look at what happened with Charlotte Osei, President no ethics committee ma ehwe ni nsem but whilst he ehwe ni nsem no go so tina no officer or year na adwuma as electoral commission chair until the determination of the committee's report. And looking at her position as the Chief Justice, the third arm of government, the president could have exercised his discretion. Sanko be manatana ho said, you bet me anya determination from the committee.
You see, exercising of the discretion of the power of the president lies in the bosom of the power, in the president. Onu ne be chusu ni onu fi say me chusu we a na be bo asem ne die. Obetimi chusu say tena ho ne yan hwehwem. Onu so betimi chusu say ma suspend no tena fie. Nenya abutoyem na dwen na hwehwem. Na at the end of the day no ye di abra amansan. Ne nyina ya sa domu suko. Ohunson to adwuma so. Asem na ba ya ohunbo wom be yi wo hwan no. I say, so I see no reason why I say Chief Justice I say wa bon for pa na che say omo kagu wiem na as you say ebinsi bi da adai issues na ba ye no wo na ohunbon wom enti to me ye jaw ma wotna ho a you can influence and answer, you can utter so many documents enti tinafie see mameka se menchiro the fact say you appoint us as a chief justice doesn't necessarily mean say unkwa na woni mara no.
Oh sure. Na say oko bench no so oko two senior men.
Exactly. Inti the brebi wo ho no ma any a specific number of years na ye bedru ho no ma ye beto so aba ye de mawa so mu ye na fu bu o man.
Is it not because in opposition and someone mokafa judiciary ho ne ade vis-a-vis the Mahama Kwakoso Moko can encouraging the NDC to move to the bench near the Adeno? Is it not because of what you said in opposition? And I'm going to implement it for which reason? Say a fact cross a petition on the if there is a substance in that petition, people would not look at the substance but read meanings because of statement and no opposition into it.
You see, petition now. Call man there was one that I read. It was a police officer on the petition a man address BBR purported, right?
But when I've also read
one man did this now a police a year or a police headquarters in this year. The petition in this and a mechano. Yeah, the petition kwa sebin predu as a sebin yado or mom ye council of teas no omunimude and then yin pabako enti omunyina mo do musko mo biebiem eromo husu no there's a prima facie case yendo mosuko yempo sum so that we can bring out real truth of your friend is saying arabatoko no na me cannot say enti me asem we enya asem a e wasa araba ne ho popo no sa wonim so woni bone a I mean why cry mbapa na o kana asem also so wonnam na wotimu fan a wonnam asuma wonhwe wechi ba wonnam na wotimu osuma wonnam awiem pokra na wohwe wechi so obi ba na. Enti enye say ebia there was some kind of utterances during in opposition, even opposition program. No mo person event saying am ho person omutu na ekonwa so eno so na NDC for ana
Fasuma me na fe me
enti araba toko no nya abotre ye ndo asam no sukomu wie ye wia ne ho so obeto na adwuma so say ne ho nya so a ba se makwa me person make ni nti at the end of the day no ho ne ho bon wo mu a ye be prosecute na na se be jam na kofie
Emrani Chere the president will act on the decision by the committee. He is bound by the decision of the committee.
Accountability.
Yes. Mami ko sakodio. Zak. It is more or less like say all the defense bano are typically from the NPP side. Muna mo jine mo defend the chief justice. Obisi Yemisa said What is the link between the NPP and the Chief Justice for which reason? As a Moana or defending it?
I'm fan check a saving my Abranti B. Sunyane.
Okay.
Very young man. Are into Ben Bricks.
Okay.
A very young entrepreneur. I mean, it's a new NDC NTA. Sabri Amaba by my up to 2028. Government intends to say Muslim will be homegrown and Amboa. Government will, of course, be doing a lot of projects near the other. There's a guy who is into brick manufacturing. Very nice breaker. A young guy who is in his early 30s. Our born home nice. Clay House. Which is located just by the tunnel bridge, Sunyane Tunnel. Doing great work among 4 banner contractors on the other. And I think
bricks, yeah,
bricks are this
Papa not this.
Yes, Ben Bricks a Pagosin at the end of construction. Years back now Pagosin crab a place orders from there. Most of Pagosin projects need to be a free guy in the honor. He's doing wonderfully well.
Wow.
And then I think he's also a friend of the NDC. So the NDC can take
I think for me if to say young guys he's doing well. I don't think I'm one.
Of course.
So because
so far as Ghanaian. So far as Ghanaian now or
entrepreneur say a work room say what I say sebi wo mu kura sika ebi mu ho no ma wetim say sponsorship kura bi o mutadi musika ye no ade a ensure that necessarily growing the youth
yes.
And then trying to empower young entrepreneurs. They can take it up on board and even invest.
Madam for the bricks BC dying and he told me the benefit of same or say all the bricks need CVR.
Yes.
You don't need painting.
Oh no, you don't need all you don't even said you project where we are say maintenance and a discount what the bricks is then you see when you are done niaka wunya polishing break them between your 350 years and nothing touches it.
I went into one. It was very beautiful.
Of course nti ewiabo amu ayenu wiemu yenu na nemu ayese. So it tells you how wonderful it is.
For the UK
of course nti me chana kese pa woni. Well, question I will be saying,
yes.
Rather now turn it around. You see, the reason why many people, not I won't even say, not Professor Kwesi Prempeh monomne, top CDD monom.
Kwesi Prempeh had said that they should make the committee's finding public.
Okay.
Which Kwesi Prempeh for me, I feel that he's talking out of the law.
Yes.
Because as at the time now the framers of the constitution never thought of the advent of social media. Now it is available per what is sitting in article 146 or say everything should be shredded in secrecy. It should not even come out. People should not even know at all. Until because no money is social media.
You see, head of CDD.
Yes.
Head of CDD, also so onye MPP ni.
Yes.
Head of CDD, so mini NDC ni Free Central Region. Head of CDD. Yamami Chief Justice Wabonepa. A lot of eminent people in this country are omo same way so omo can say same way say yasema John Mahama they score political scores. Are they rented by the woman? Can the woman pay all these top-notch people? It's not even an insult to Sankrofo to say that we're renting amount for all around to be talking for her, and people are making. Look, the Emma Adeno, riding on a high horse, and you be any breaker be say. The discretion of the president.
Yes.
So what discretion? I say so the year Juma.
Yes.
You ever say what Juma? Now we see you. Now it was so summer be a my base in Momoko out. Acquire voluntary work be a make us NGO will be the sponsorship be aba you really be 3 hour worker. Na abaya ba could be or hornoma will be any say you are always picking on her. What does it? They be now picking on her. They be now picking on her. Tata na ya accountant. Ubi CEO no. I feel do says assignment number will be in so born home then when you are setting them out there to go no where you know film the Bema be shame. She said, "Dear, you will say, one happen a person the demo back which your discretion as a boss. Obia will say your discretion. But in the exercise of your discretion,
yes,
Obia to read the fine line. There is a proverb in Germany that they say you can tell a German wine from vinegar looking at its bottle. And the Gonja people also say, when you find a pregnant goat in the market, there's a pregnant problem at home. The matters that are so grave, the rise of kidney infections, caused by NDC executives. Amenfi Central and Amenfi East for a platform. So the president is not saying anything about it. President Betina Kunyesu, tell me, out of the many months our Betina Kunyesu, when has the president publicly spoken about Galamsey menace in this country? Only to see the minister crying on TV. You just answer me in our president saw the discretion. Look, when you are talking about issues and I mean you can want say maame no otu kwan maame ni tu kwan na maame no ede ne nkrofo bi personal and obi omko de ne ba and all those people akɔhwɛ NDC for na mo wansi okroma under NDC Mills Mahama Mutaka Mubarak what you say the Mutaka case so kai
yes,
Pampers and Pampers ni chinchinga bills. Ministry of Sports, party the chinchinga ne bobo. The chinchinga ne bo volleyball. But Pampers ni chinchinga. Any person a fear kon humanina na as a Ministry of Sports under the discretion of the Minister Mutaka Mubarak. NDC for catcher Mutaka Mubarak say a sakinimpo. The bizarre question. The woman has officially a privileges I demand. And privileges I demand no. Anna Obama nankasa ni privileges I demand no. At that material moment, no, on it, even with the gold board, whatever CEO is saying, NDC communication officer Sami James,
yes.
In his recent comments, now Okase, Maameno using the discretion to quite the bodyguard the yet he is also talking about the fact that there is already the bodyguard the corner or the nebane koi.
But when it is stipulated per law, see I try to her a pen ni paper say way and I was so here you cannot then exercise.
But of course you see
on that.
You see how does that affect the adjudication of law? How does that affect the propriety of our legal system and our legal jurisprudence in this country?
So you see in the legal fraternity we have what we call the courts.
Yes.
And the courts you are so it's just like as a court. There's a procedure.
Yes.
Procedure is also law.
Yes.
And so the courts are also laws. And so there are two policies.
Yes.
We have the official policy and then the private policy.
Yes.
The private policy then Emran say who two coin on one castle privately. One two coin. Yes. Say Omani befa hunka. Na afa your friends say bodyguard.
Yes.
And so hunka.
Yes.
And who two coin on the private one. But so who two coin officially. Who Angasa, Wabusiani, and our bodyguard. Yebefa honka. And they say, oh, call for a private vacation. Near as if our bodyguard, that's how drop bodyguard, you know. That's a woody nipafu for a qua. Nipafu for now would you should bear that cost, but the state should not bear that cost.
What you say? Have you heard from the Auditor General confirming something way?
That the anti-American says, whatever is out there is purported.
See, yes. that is why I am going into the matter by saying that Justice Tokono, on your spending officer. Justice Tokono is not a spending officer.
No.
There are people in the judicial system. We are spending officers and they have experience, and those are the people making approvals of some of these travels. If you want to go into Sardana, and if you want to be straight on Sardana, even the president, Kurampona Wajisa petition also there's a prima facie, is the president not himself thinking that there's a prima facie case for him to even tender his own resignation? President in the full glare of Ghanaians, the presidential car, I don't know team, our president should be protected by tactical military trained drivers, people who have covert tactics, people who have weaponry tactics. You team to protect the president. Asemsia. How do you evacuate the president? Professional drivers, they have been set aside, and the brother of the president is riding the presidential machinery. What kind of show of a union. And
that vehicle, is it an official presidential vehicle and a personal vehicle?
That's the president's car with the coat of arms. See, when you even buy a private car you give to the president, or the president himself buy his own private car for himself, before you put coat of arms, the car, no state protocol. You can ask.
Yes.
Now, not any front by movement here, no state protocol. And the car scan a car, say devoid of tracking a union whatever. Yeah, bomb squad, no, evaluate car, analyze it. Now you adapted the car into the presidential fleet.
Yes.
So if you have a brother of the president riding the president around, our president, whether I voted for him or I didn't vote for him, it is my constitutional right to defend that man at any time. Why is so being to me? Yes, Absalom, never Pani David, Absalom to the Papa Susa, or no clan Moja, or free the moon buy. How much more a brother? What I say, and we are joking in this country. Yet the presidency, are you joke? Yet we are sitting down, we are telling me that president discretion. And so, yeah, my man can't say me, Joe. Mutaka and Elvis a free anchor. Elvis a free anchor 2014 World Cup. Miniatia, that's not the near fee. Obo Kube e Brazil. Kubeba ko that time Kubeba ko $20. But I name him question. Obi this Obia ko to Kubeba ko $20. You see na bo. Elvis a free anchor. Jamafi report. Omo ko to Kube $20 e Brazil. Omo timi sumo obi say obi nkodwom bi a market nearby market nkoto ne mamra. Say ni pa no ho. Say ni pa no get $3,000 per diem a day. Wo ko kira market ne keke. Dear or no so kwakoto ne ma no so get $3,000 for going to shop there. All these things were in that expose. But what did the president do? President rather confirm is a free anchor from the ministries. What's happening? Presidency man staff. You are talking about the president's discretion on a matter of say is it Chief Justice.
But is it not the reason why we grew? So after he had been in opposition, he has learned and he's come back.
What we are dealing with right now is that many of the NDC grassroots people and their lawyers, who many of them I sincerely think knows better, what you say, and still should know better. And make cases say, Mameno and SSA. Nanka, you see, they are your privileges, it's administrative privileges. What I say? Per your position, you enjoy those kinds of things. What I say? Those things should not, although let me sound conclusive, say the emphasis sample those things should not affect what in terms of opposition or no word dedicature, in terms of officially say how does that distort the outcomes of your work?
But legally, you know, being a Chief Justice, there are so many roles she plays, and the adjudication on cases are different. She is also responsible for administrative of the judiciary, and the administrative work say when they case we so when they took when they transfer na all are part of the Juma also here. And we shouldn't limit it to only adjudicating on issues.
We are saying, yes, what's saying town? This NDC agenda of getting the Chief Justice out, the president is only acting hypocritical. NDC for acting hypocritical. But the NDC has been exposed by Omwankasa recent comments. I'm a young who say a premeditated. Now, president, current president in the opposition. In a conference, or catch there say, Ghana judicial system, it is in tatters. Say, bet to me everywhere. I just said the head of the judiciary, everywhere. And yes, I'm okay.
Yes.
So if today he is making the moves that he is making, it tells you that this is a grand agenda. It is his wish. I have the person or ye no ye and ye. I didn't know our first question. I was saying, dear, you said your day. I heard the above few no. Honor the ones na ye. Eba send this if uncle for the removal of Chief Justice and Makumanuma and getting the Benya no see a Casas movie. I'm not go fast and number. So you bring what I heard the few once number. Yeah, Yakofa crazy and Basia di so near the paper referendum 1 once and a swatia. Most a Tokunako high say you may defend them. Now, so one quiets are unnecessary action now. Why would we even be stepping in?
Why will you fault the government for somebody who has submitted a petition?
Let me fault the government for many things. Right? Intellectually, you know, the NDC is doing bankrupt and fallacious claims to say. The same procedure and these are people who are lawyers. And I can say, I don't want to mention some of their names, but some of them are our friends.
Is it not the same procedure?
Electoral Commission, commissioner,
yes.
Or commissioner.
Yes.
We are talking about the head of an arm of government. But
the two of them are independent.
With the fact that it is an independent state institution does not make it an arm. The processes, and the intention and how to let the law flow in trying to get one out, it speaks a lot. Right now, Ghana is at the crossroads in terms of our international image. But how we are dealing with the Supreme Court, I mean, flow as yes, so that you can come in. We are dealing with the Chief Justice, who is the head of an arm of government.
Yes.
President, you can't talk about 7th December. When you see a talk about 7th December, Satan Libya and the sitting president of power Moyaha. What do I say? Power and Mushiki.
Yes.
I feel you ever a new person in.
It is in our mind. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, but you can discharge any.
You can discharge. So discharge. Now I ban say na put on discharge. Ni rule now for NDC for almost reversing baby. So that is why I'm telling you that here to abali we are power no here dey. Emusheki. It is only the judiciary and open the only armor. Eka ekuta mine nyina.
Yes.
So if we begin to play politics with that arm, what you say? Let's just say we are headed. Look, the NDC has a history of a former national chairman, Kwabneji, telling us that you can cleanse the judiciary to kill the cat. Okay. There are so many ways of killing the cat. Okay. And no, and the NDC for release idea. But the NDC has a PNDC history in this country where judges got lost in this country. They say Adabuga, more 8 to big men in the NDC have come to testify under National Reconciliation Commission. In some of your pro-sugu honompa NDC for Bonnie or Mobedu Okruma, are protected by indemnity clause of 1992 Constitution. When you are a catcher on Mobedu. Lastly, let me end. Where the Council of State, the Council of State only plays advisory role. The Council of State, that's a meaning. So what she had here, no. When the woman said, I didn't make a boy, Ubenya Bibi at the Akantame. Council of State tells me which of the laws of the Council of State or which of the laws in the 1992 Constitution says that what the Council of State tells the president, the president has is by force to follow it. A advisory rule. What you say? The Council of State in the Obeka President Pobefa or Paomfa. What did I make a channel? So then come and tell me that the Council of State, the members of the Council, out of respect, we know that the Council of State is not a political, it's not a partisan group of people. What do I say? Like we have in the Parliament of Ghana, for instance, yes, where it is typically partisan. What do I say? But you cannot tell me that because of that, we should believe that it's an advice coming from them. That is why the president took it. The president himself, one agenda in opposition. Waka NDC for Ankasaka. Na Moko quarter. The street law in the court. Mudi Bossi Mukana court. Mukwana challenge ya. Musi say, Tadia sorry asema okay. As a Tadia sorry could in a quarter. Ma America say, look, the Tadia sorry had made his point. Now, who even told you that lawyers fight judges all the time in court? That's a him to be in court Dana. Oko quarter. Lawyers fight judges in court. Almost fight you all the time. Judges also tell them, shut up, sit down. Or we just make a judge be say, we are my colleague, we don't know law school. You can't bully me. These are things that is day-to-day courtroom things. Into what bench na court now we still court on the time.
But Mami Misa Wena Fe Nefesima me in just a minute. The president from the beginning of this petition to where we have gotten now, has he faulted the laws in any way?
Sure. President, in terms of, let me be fair to the president.
Yes.
In terms of the wheels of the procedure of law, the president, I do not believe, so why you be a processes and said I'm running on tour here in 2020. What is them to say?
Okay.
But that is why we are talking about. You see, most of the things that even the constitution talks about and the procedure stipulates, are based on discretion. But most of the things are not based on discretion.
There are some that are so when it comes to
the
prima facie determination. What it says. Let me just say to you, the Chief Justice also was it that is Article 146.
Yes.
Or say that the justices of the Superior Court, the chairman of the regional tribunal, or Kanaba Ebekase, in a situation, or say where the Chief Justice decide, so okay, this is the Chief Justice, in the petition for the removal of the Chief Justice, the President shall, acting in consultation with the Council of States, appoint a committee consistent of judges just to be able to make, but on a prima facie basis, or say the president with the Council of State shall make a determination whether or not there's a prima facie. So what I can tell you, the information that I have, that some of the petitions that were brought before the president were dismissed, even without going to the Chief Justice, because they felt that those allegations were really have no substance. The ones that move fee say not a substance, you know, or maybe call Council of State.
There are settings. There are settings.
So
you tried in the best 20. You see, a criminal. You see, look, that's again. We should not. We shouldn't joke with some of the things we are talking about. I don't know. I can't want to this year. You see, my way more. You the name be Diago. Look, when him say,
Fasima me 1 minute.
When him say, sir, already no. Our security apparatus in this country, national security should listen to this very well.
Yes.
The selection of chief of army staffs in Penny 4, whatever appointments that have gone on in this country, moving people from 1 star to the level of which they are now, 4 star. Do you know that per the procedure, no? Everybody who is ahead of you will have to go on all of them. So since the president could not get somebody from 1 star jumping 2, 3, 4, not even from 2 to 3, 4, you could not even get one from the 3 and one from the 2. Then you get one person from the 1 to come and jump to move all of them ahead of him home. And then on one of the colleagues in so one, do you know all of them will also go home? The reason is that you have a situation where the colleagues, about head, no moon somebody in a training school, you are at the same level. So you win and salute. That is what their system is.
But even if you are a 4-star general, you still have colleagues that you came with.
Of course, then and that one, that is why it is at the top echelon. And then they are the top echelon. So at the top echelon, when one is selected, they themselves know that at the top echelon, police, IGP, any free commissioner. If they said they want to be free, be a ASP. Now they need to be a commissioner, IGP. Now commissioners in training school need coffee. So look at what you see the system. You see, already in the security system, are you not scared for this country where the NDC has played so much politics in Tiseboku, for instance? IGP are too abona ne armored land cruiser. Enra says yes, a head of military. Yes. I stand to be corrected. Yes, but Enra, many of the news outlets have reported. So almost two send a convoy. No more porn. One can say, are you not worried? Are you not worried about the Galamsey menace? Are you not worried about Minya waiting? Minya and now some of your become a friend and conclude. What say? Doom sono. Just say, open one tiasie. Voter regional minister. Echo ECG for office. Echo complaining about doom so. Kumase 4 complaining about doom so. Everybody in this country is complaining about doom so. The Minister of Energy is telling us to say, Sebi, Yakene was forming to the Mayan Kokasha de la Sem. And you are here complaining about doom so. Sanyama when you are president, and to me Kahomache, Chief Justice, or no they go train a bull on vacation here the administrative privilege. How does that affect NDC for more lawyers say you good more number?
Buffy. You see, as to whether or not there is a prima facie case is boiled down to the fact that petitioner by no evidence room yen tum yen hwehwem. The travel privileges no e bini newe. Utu kwanya for our body guide and our security eden fako. No money eden emohoka because we a state asset. Sana mrani eden ekan. Sen kamemva ne se me am ye layman. Ena me head sector ena e bia mrani meka so mi ni mu a eno de obetimi de ache me. But a whole chief justice a wonim de amre nyina no e hye ukotodwe ene wabatwe. Na se mrani si yese na wo so me security de me mfa ho. Inti me de mabusuanfo mum ene de be ko vacation ne meti on per diem me bisaw webusuanfo no omo ye adwuma state nana
nti ma men kan the policy
mutaka kwam person na ne ba no oye adwuma state no
personal travels by the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice shall be entitled to a 2-round trip.
Yes.
Business class, Accra to London, Accra, to be entitled during her vacation. Travel expense, total hotel accommodation and per diem will be borne by the judicial service and capped at 14 days per month. While the Chief Justice embark on personal or private foreign travel, he or she shall be accompanied by security only. The travels expenses of the security comprises air ticket, hotel accommodation, per diem, and shall be borne by the judicial service.
Enti maybe so. Okunu ene ne maba amiru no. Omo ye security ana.
Na ade na judicial council so mu ntua.
There be o. Yes say. Ye bebo ho ka. Eka ye bebo no. O security. Eka ye bebo ni. Enti o pa che me say yemfa ye fence state fund. Nemfa mo obusuanfo ka na o security ne nefiana. No, you see, so who make arguments say? No, who make arguments say? Enti state fund no, odi ama ne yere ne friends sorry, ni kunu ne ma. Air ticket. Omo adem. Omo accommodation eduane ombedi na omo gi per diem. Omo gi per diem ne sa incentives no based on what? It's when you are abusing power. Let us say it as it is. But me massage no. Emran say Chief Justice betu kwanya. Nimpa ba ko pe e na also odidi nechi. Nimpa ban ya. Eye ni security. Enti sisi ano Chief Justice no the security ye ni kunu. Ene ne mama mienu no. The only
thing I can say with this, and I said, I don't want to take the that one thing as a response to the Chief Justice sacrosanct. But sir, if you are to go by the Chief Justice, the that one thing Chief Justice response now, he has responded said yes of a truth. Well, responded said yes of a truth, you know. He did same, and that he has even ordered to do a refund back to the state.
Yeah. Is it? Wait.
And I make a choice. Say response no. Say me about the truth just say response no. But obi to me authenticating can say of a truth that response emanated from her.
Let's say without admitting say it is the truth.
It's
right?
What truth?
Wabokro no.
It is what truth?
Say be wabokro no. Ya chose so maybe I may sign be true. What sense that make? Chrono ya chrono. illegality is illegality. Me massaging they say a spade is a farming tool. A spade is a spade. And you're farming too. And then massage yourself. Emran say into all too quano. Ah, the friend saying, only the bush and phone acquired. Obisano was say, etiquette ne pedium if you man buy. Only bottom is can do it. Etiquette na accommodation, one or more corner, and your bottom sika. Obisano was say if you never buy. Pedium no moji, if you're not getting bottom the coin. Until at that instance, who say a state fund. Until a petition and Bobeka so go or correfund. Why we massaging the issue say as you say a what the bonnet, accept say what the bonnet. Me part now okay my kind. Now make an old say. My kinds are part until you catch him so oh my being say me barber refine my state. Ah Nana. That's because state in the say, and run say. So chief justice, a cobana say who to panya. Nimpa back open would be doing and no security. Security, you know, a buying the one hoka. Ni pedia mon your benny or no bet, your bishop, a buying the one hoka. Baoko, who couldn't get you, or mammy, no deity. Or more etiquette, a friend is saying business class. Or my accommodation, when me sound say, no more etiquette no when they try.
One for economic.
Into per diem no emoji in dollars no. Or no chief just where me sound say per diem you emoji per diem based on what na. It's when you condone and down with illegalities, name run a chiwa. May your so oh and nanka me babes no. I'm running, yes, sir. Bonnie, Bonnie. That's it.
Yeah.
She should know best.
That's it. You see,
first one in 2
I said the entire make a choice of Kruma jokes in the doors and they say the NDC have set an agenda to radicalize people in this country. Oh, you see, and one thing the media is failing to address is that you see we are sitting down and watching these people run everybody down, and one day these people will come and run the media people down. Also, at Kruma and say, Anna. A presidential staffers. Akwaya Wezo TV and stand up yes. Put journalists for Kruma cameras. That time, the media people, you saw that attacks on you. Now you see, media for the fee Kruma, they are not pointing out some of the bullying tactics of the NDC. To the extent the NDC boycott too much. But
we witnessed some under the NPP also.
I bubu cameras. NPP for bubu cameras. It says stand up. A whole presidential staffer. To the extent NDC for to me tata multimedia for to me catch multimedia kwa boycott to my BBC publishing. I boycott to multimedia. I yes NDC party. NDC as a government. Everything boycott to multimedia on multimedia coverage of government stories.
But I was in multimedia when MPP also boycotted.
No, but you see,
the
I am telling. MPP boycotted it as officially say yeah, mama cover stories and I say yeah boycott as panel. We can decide to boycott as panel. Some government officials, because only me here.
Yes.
But for government to issue communique signed by Ejenum Boateng, so okay, and saying that government and in fact multimedia and BBC publishing, go on Google and find out. And today they are running down the judiciary and we are looking at them. Here, BBC said, "Ma, men or then a backward and all those president, Mr. President, no more. Need me an presidential land cruiser. What you have land cruiser aneka? Need me another choice land cruiser aneka? Land cruiser and fuel like Kotoku Miami no me no tax no. Yeah. One maybe say a tax I the top fuel ama president no. Need me anko tenami. Expenses are yeah borne out on the president no. Yeah. Say one maybe say president no kano. Need me an me take a bite of it ana. The president's brother is president in the name or the bad boy. President John Mama de and Naman and say obedi president of the bad boy ya or to players or didn't dinner chino. Boy or then and Namu did on money be boy. State protocol car now Tima Nebani Timbino and on Nebani at all you know. That is why I'm saying that our argument is shallow. Here at to forcing as Deputy Minister of Finance, no your courses in London. What the Mexico for a plane. Your courses in London. Ufa obi to say Fifi Kweti, the General Secretary of the NDC. Fifi Kweti area course for London School of Economics. Under Mills as Deputy Finance Minister. Fifi Kweti area London School of Economics. Or the Masters in Economics. Now every 2 weeks be offer business class to London, which was minor now they're born out. And not your official. Or the course for London School of Economics. That's it. Me dey London me see the grave issues say wo krom ha say na NDC needs to resolve it no. NDC for say enkranfo hia digitalization enkranfo hia dokono ne nchenam omo ba dokono ne nchenam ne yensan kan NDC for say omo ba energy sector no Akufo-Addo just 2024 year Akufo-Addo increase tariffs by less than 10% no. Almost almost to be the wickedness and almost increasing it by how many percent? NDC is increasing it by how many percent? And they are not doing it. All they are doing is bullying all around. Almost bullying Obia all around, everywhere, left, right, center. What you are saying? Making minor a crime scene. If someone minor a crime scene, suspected a plane entering into Ghana, you name the womb. We don't know what was carried into it. Say the virus be na every krum ha. Say the DNA every krum yenim. Esa consudia na free has to the coy yenim. Ye kasi eme investigation. President kasi eme investigation. President spokesperson say investigation bia hu nya. Ono wo so president no. Enti ne yenko chire obi bibi watiwa. Eniema hu tantan kwana ekoso kruma. That's it. So Ghana for ensure waka. Na sa niema we na ekoso no. We should not give it any credence. We should stand up and talk against it because the NDC for you know, NDC for politicizing everything. And one way you are, every time you know, so one nama, we be catch you say ushu na ehye no. Na se ka koto NDC ni boutique wan koto won ti ye be gi shoe. That's it.